Morning guys, it's another day, we made it. The journey continues. Doing very well, had a really good sleep. It's pretty cold and yeah, I'm up nice and early. It's 5:30. I'm gonna make myself a nice warm cup of tea. I actually slept really well. I think so far this was the best night ever I've had in the car. The way I reorganized the setup, I had my liner and the sleeping bag, enough warm stuff, and I was completely fine. I was nice and toasty in there, even though it did get quite cold. But yeah, very excited for today. Today might just be the biggest day of the trip so far, something that I've really been looking forward to. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make myself a quick cup of tea, and then I'm actually just going to get everything packed up straight away. I'm not gonna have breakfast here. I don't usually like having breakfast immediately after waking up. That's why I did like the hike yesterday. So what I'll do is I'll get everything, have a cup of tea, get everything packed up, and then I'll use the bathroom here quickly, might as well. But then I'm actually going to just drive on. I'm not going to stop in the town of Kuma. I'll just drive through, straight away drive to the next town of Jindabyne, which is right next to some of these very interesting places that I want to check out, and from where we are actually going to really kick off this journey in the snowy mountains. Kuma here is pretty much just the gateway into this region. So yeah, I'll just drive through the town. I'm not going to stop and check things out this time. Maybe if we come back this way, I'll stop and have a look around, but for now let's just do it. No issues here. There's one other, you probably can't see, but there's one other person just over there that showed up in their car, probably doing the same thing as me. I'll actually leave the name of this place displayed on here, because it seems it's like really a really easy and safe place to come and camp overnight for free, provided you adhere to certain conditions. Don't leave a mess, clean up after yourself, all of that. We've done it. Free overnight stay. Accommodation, especially in Australia, and particularly this region, is very expensive. I mean, snowy mountains, I was looking on accommodation, damn, it is super expensive. Let's make a move. Some of you keen listeners may recognize that Kosciuszko is a Polish name. Why is the national park named Kosciuszko, and why is in fact Australia's tallest mountain, which really the national park is named after, why is it called Mount Kosciuszko? Well, I'll tell you why. I've been doing a bit of reading, and just here I've seen something that looks quite interesting. So long story short, Mount Kosciuszko, the tallest mountain in mainland Australia. Technically there is an overseas territory that does have a higher peak, Mawson's Peak, heard in McDonald Islands, but mainland Australia, Mount Kosciuszko is the highest. So after European settlement, Mount Kosciuszko was first climbed by the Polish explorer Paul Strzelecki. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I pronounced the name incorrect. And after he climbed it, he named the mountain after Tadeusz Kosciuszko. Again, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name incorrectly, but this here monument was made to none other than Tadeusz Kosciuszko, 1746 to 1817. The Polish patriot and hero who spent most of his life fighting for the freedom of his country. A champion of the underprivileged and oppressed in Poland, he went to America to become one of George Washington's generals, gaining much honor in the War of Independence. In Thomas Jefferson's words, he was as pure a son of liberty as I have ever known. Mount Kosciuszko was discovered and named by the Polish explorer Count Paul Edmund Strzelecki in 1840. This monument is raised by the Federal Council of Polish Associations in Australia as a gift to the people of Australia in the bicentennial year 1988. That's 200 years after European settlement. It commemorates the discovery of Mount Kosciuszko and the contribution of Polish settlers to the Snowy Mountains scheme. But should we wish to warm us on our way through Poland, there is Kosciuszko's name, might scatter fire through ice like Heckler's flame. So that's the story. We're about to enter Kosciuszko National Park, named after the tallest peak, Mount Kosciuszko, which in turn was named by the Polish explorer Paul Edmund Strzelecki in 1840 after none other than Tadeusz Kosciuszko. That's the story. I read the history a little bit and it was very, very interesting. So yeah, nice little park here. Some more signs of early spring. Kosciuszko Monument. Damn, petrol sure is more expensive here. $2 a litre compared to $1.80 that I've had to deal with. So far we've spent a total of $430 on petrol after filling up 4 times. This is actually an off-leash area for dogs, so you can walk along the lakeside here. It's a very big lake and it's an island right there in the middle. And yeah, you might have noticed when we drove into the town, I crossed over a dam. So this whole lake here is actually man-made. It's an artificial lake. And where Jindabyne is now, this is actually not where the original Jindabyne town was. The original Jindabyne town was somewhere where they wanted to construct a dam for the Snowy Mountains scheme, which I believe this is part of. The entire town had to be relocated because they wanted to construct the Snowy Mountains scheme and yeah, build a dam. Would be tempting to go for a dip, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna skip that for today. I've already got my snow pants on and I don't want to have to remove my shoes and then get changed, all of that. I don't have time for that. So yeah, and I'm sure this water would be, well, let's say it'll be a bit more chilly than even what I'm used to given we are in the Snowy Mountains. Good news from the information center here. I asked about driving Alpine Way. Since I got 4-wheel drive, I don't need to take snow chains and it should be all good. It's all clear at the moment. Just gone to the shops as well, got myself some supplies, so I'm all stocked up on food and I've got everything I need. So we are going to hop in the car and drive Alpine Way through the Snowy Mountains, Kosciuszko National Park. Let's do it. One day, yeah. 29. Yeah, $29 park entry fee. That's pretty expensive, but it's not surprising given where we are going. And you can get an annual pass, which I honestly would consider getting. Greetings, welcome to Perisher Valley. You may be asking, what the hell are you doing up here? I thought you were going on Alpine Way. Well, last minute I decided to head up Kosciuszko Road and just check out Perisher, because why not? I have time. It's only 11:15 in the morning, so I thought, you know what, let's go up here, let's just go for a bit of a walk, explore, and just check out what this area has to offer. Again, I'm not skiing, not doing anything like that, I'm not prepared for that, but you can see up there, that's the ski lifts going all the way to the top there. Definitely not as much snow cover compared to usual. It's only about 30 to 40% of average these last few weeks, given how warm it's been. It's currently about 4 degrees, although it does feel quite a bit colder with that wind chill. So yeah, up there is where all the skiers are, going up there, which we ain't gonna do that, but yeah, I might have a bit of a wander around. There's a bunch of kids and people climbing up these hills, playing up there, so I'm just gonna walk up there and just see what I can find and show you some interesting things. I've always wanted to come to the snow, so this is my first time experiencing it in Australia. Let's do it. That wind chill. It's only 4 degrees, feels like -6. Whew. As you can see, it's not just about skiing. There's all these hills over here where you can do a bit of snowboarding, more, I guess, family-friendly stuff, and be out here, enjoy this beautiful environment apart from that wind. Right up there, that's the top of the ski slope. See the lifts going all the way up there, and then people ski down that hill. Next time when I come back here, I 100% am going to get up there and do some skiing, try it out. I've got to do it at least once in my life. Ah, here we go, more secluded area. I'm just trying to get away from all the people so I can enjoy this moment. Ooh, it's a bit foggy here. This isn't the best quality snow, admittedly, because yeah, we're pretty much in early spring. A lot of it is already started to melt, but I'm just in time for some of the last snow of the season. Woo! Ah! Ah! Yeah. Ooh. Damn. Okay. How'd I do? My first ever snow angel. Maybe I did one before. I don't know. I have been in snow before on family trips to Austria and in Switzerland one time. So I've seen snow before, but I don't remember much of it. I've never been to snow in Australia, and here we are. We have made it! Yeah! My hands are frozen, but yeah, we have made it. I have gloves, but I just want to be able to feel that snow. Let's follow this trail and go as high as it can take us. It's starting to get deeper and deeper as we go in. surreal. This is absolutely surreal. And if you're wondering, we're about 1700 meters above sea level, just about that. I would have loved to be here in the middle of winter, even just a few weeks ago when they had a lot of snow. But this is still just absolutely spectacular, surreal to be here. I get to enjoy one last taste of winter before heading into spring and then summer. Everyone says just come out here for skiing, but it's worth it just to come up here for the nature. I mean, these skiing resorts are in the areas naturally that have the most snow, so if you want to experience that, get that alpine feel, then it's worth it just to come up here. And of course there's so many other areas of this national park to explore as well. Ugh. Damn, my hands. Ooh. What did I say about not having enough snow? Oh, over here is more than enough. Whew. That there's the main road that we drove up. And these are the hills that I was looking up on that road. I'm going to go a bit this way and see how high up we can go. This is not quite Mount Kosciuszko, but I want to try making it to the top of this hill. Alright, it seems this hill that I'm trying to climb has another ski lift that goes all the way along there. So I'm basically the one crazy enough to walk up instead of taking a ski lift because I am not skiing. So we're going to try our best here. It is a struggle. Now I know what they mean when they say it's tough to walk in snow. Having snowshoes of course would help, but we make do with what we have. Now we're really starting to get high up there. No one else is crazy enough to hike as far as I'm going. There is indeed people skiing from up here down that slope, so I'm going to be careful not to block them. I must say the snow gear that I got is holding up well. It was a real bargain. I got these snow pants, very comfortable, very warm. $8 at my local op shop just up at my town back in Queensland, and I got this ski jacket $30 from Aldi, and the boots were $60. So yeah, real bargain. I got the whole set less than $100, so I'd say it's a real bargain. All those cold frosty mornings on the quad bike in the Southern Downs have definitely helped prepare me for this, get more acclimatized to the cold, although minus this wind chill. I mean, when this wind is not blowing, it's really not that cold. Like, I'm walking around fine without gloves. I mean, as long as I'm not touching the snow, my hands are actually fine. I can have feeling, they're warm. And right now, hiking up here, I'm actually starting to sweat a little. Not that much colder at the moment compared to what we get on the Southern Downs in the deepest winter. I mean, granted, it's the middle of the day, it's 4 degrees. We definitely don't see that on the Southern Downs, but still, that part of Queensland, we definitely do see those cold nights. Almost there. This is the top here of the hill, how high the ski lift goes. Yeah, I don't think this is the ideal conditions for skiing. I think they would need quite a bit more snow cover, but it's still possible. Over there on those hills it's definitely much better. Always have to walk back to get the camera. That's something you don't usually see. Snow on top of the hill here seems a lot better for skiing. It's much harder and more compact and easier to walk on, so I think this is actually much better for skiing. I mean, I'm no expert, but man, down there, everywhere we've been walking up, it's just a lot more slushy and soft. So I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's this hard stuff that you want for skiing. Whoa! Oh boy, this is definitely much harder than one would expect. I mean, of course I expect it to be harder to hike up snow, but yeah, much harder than one would expect. There's the car park. I can almost just about see my car. Come on, we're almost there. Let's get that full overview of this valley. Oh, that's right, man. We made it to the top. Well, up there goes higher, but I want to see those views. Legs are killing me. Whoa! Yeah! Perisha Valley! Woo! Oh, it's windy. Yeah! That's right. We made it. Yes, sir. Imagine all of this covered in snow, what it would be like. Down behind these hills there, that's where Jindabyne is. That's where we drove up. Just imagine all these hills in their full winter glory, completely covered in snow. Alright. Yeah, this area looks a bit sketchy with all this grass, so I'll stay up on this rock. Strong winds are predicted in this region, up to 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. So believe me, I would not want to be stuck out here in those conditions. Right, I think that will do us. I don't want to stay up here in this wind. This is definitely the coldest spot. Yeah, the car park down there is 1720 meters. I'm guessing up here we're probably around at least 1850 to 1900 meters above sea level. I mean, these hills up there are probably closer to about 2000. One thing's for sure, it's definitely far easier to head downhill than it is uphill. Let's get a final feel of this snow before we move on. There we are. I was just thinking, something like this would be the ultimate car camping setup. Having a ute and then being able to just put something like this on top so you can have like a nice area to walk inside, stand up a little bit, and then an area to sleep on top. That would be honestly the dream, because like you can see it just fits easily in a normal car parking spot, and it's not like towing around a caravan. Yeah, giving me ideas, goals perhaps for the future. My car's just up there, so yeah, gonna head down and then I'm gonna drive the Alpine way. the way we've just driven through Alpine Way. Right over there is Thredbo, the other ski resort. It's actually quite a bit more accessible than I would have thought. We're right now at Dead Horse Gap. You can see the elevation, 1582 meters. A little bit of snow up there on the side of the road, and yeah, all the way up there, these hills, they're all still snow-capped. And yeah, Dead Horse Gap is actually an area where I've seen a few people come park here, and then they actually go hiking up into these hills here. One guy I was watching actually hiked all the way up Mount Kosciuszko from here, and doing Mount Kosciuszko climb, that is definitely something on my bucket list. For this time around, I'm not doing any serious hikes or camping or anything like that. I'm really just getting a feel for the region, being my first time here. But yeah, I have to say I'm really glad I chose to go up to Perisher, because yeah, you can get to go all the way to the very top, park at the very top, and I think compared, like, Thredbo looked very nice. Like Thredbo, the slopes were actually longer and the snow reached a bit further down, I think, so they have better slopes, I think, for skiing at Thredbo, and it looked like a nice area for families to stay and all of that. But Perisher seemed to me more like an all-in-one bigger area, and yeah, it's a bit higher up than Thredbo, and yeah, also of course had the small section where I was able to hike. I knew about Dead Horse Gap. I initially planned to actually hike up into these hills, because you could probably hike up here and you connect up to there. If you just walk almost straight this way, that will eventually lead to Mount Kosciuszko, mainland Australia's highest peak. Damn, it is windy. We're going to be continuing on this road across to the other side of the snowy mountains, and yeah, seeing what's on the western side, and yeah, getting to the place where I'm camping next. And then tomorrow I'm actually planning to drive back across, but a different route. So we're really getting the full picture here. This is for me as well as for you as well. So, yeah. And I've seen videos of people driving through where everything here, all these hills, everything is just covered in snow. At 30 to 40% snow coverage at the moment, so unfortunately I'm a bit unlucky in terms of not seeing this at the very top. There's still more than enough snow to enjoy, and oof, damn, this wind is just getting, it's meant to really pick up. It's meant to really pick up overnight, and I don't fancy staying out in this wind, so let's get back in the car and let's continue our journey. And in fact, oh man, I think I've had my snow feel for the day. I enjoyed it, I loved it, but I think I've had my snow feel for the day. And this afternoon, right now, is when the wind is really meant to pick up. It's meant to see gusts of up to over 100 kilometers an hour. And right now is when it's really starting to pick up. So I want to get in the car, drive across, and oof. Greetings, I've just stopped in the small town of Kosciuszko. It is getting dark. Whew, that was quite a long and winding drive through Alpine Way. Much more long and winding than I would have expected. It was honestly getting quite tiring, and there was a few rest areas along the way in Kosciuszko National Park and camping spots, but it all said needed advanced booking and all that, and pretty strict, especially around Kosciuszko with camping. I mean, unless you actually go off hiking somewhere and do like an overnight camping, I mean, then that's fine. But I mean, in terms of designated places, it's pretty strict. So it didn't stop anywhere there, and Kosciuszko was the nearest town along the way. So that was really my next destination, and the place I was planning on staying at was actually about 20 minutes further down the road, actually across the border in Victoria, because we're pretty much right on the edge of New South Wales now. 13 kilometers from here is actually the border with Victoria. So yeah, I would have actually been right across the border, camped in a nearby town. I thought, damn, this is a pretty nice town, Kosciuszko. I'd love to camp somewhere here. And then all of a sudden there's a sign, here's the caravan park. I thought, oh well, I'll go in, ask if they have anything available, how much. And yeah, it's like $85 a night for if you want to be in one of the cabins, and $32 is the cheapest option for an unpowered site, which is what I opted for, just to park my car here. All along the edge here is unpowered. There's one other guy over there who's actually got a truck, and he's converted the back of the truck into like a live-in quarter, which is really cool. I just noticed that like 5 minutes ago. That looks really cool. And yeah, then in this center area there with all these lights and poles there, that's powered sites. That caravan there, I'm pretty sure there would be a powered site, which is more expensive. But yeah, 32 a night, it's okay. It's okay for what you get. Beautiful view of the lake here, which I'll show you in the morning. You can hear the frogs are out. We are now in the Snowy Valleys region. The other side of the range is right up at the top. That is technically Snowy Monaro region. That's where all that action was that happened earlier. And then crossing Alpine Way, we're now on the western side of the mountains, the Great Dividing Range. Similar to where I live in Queensland, again on the western side. Now, this town is situated in a pretty similar way to where I currently live, except these mountains here are way bigger, of course, being the highest mountains in Australia. And yeah, it's not actually that cold here. It's currently about 10 degrees as we're heading into evening. The wind doesn't have that same chill like it did up in those mountains, because right now we're only at 300 meters, which is even lower than the town I live in. I was talking with the guy, he said it's very rare for it to actually snow down this low. All these hills that you see around here high in elevation, you don't have to go that high on an average winter for there to be snowfall. Like you said, this year and last year were pretty bad years in terms of snow cover and snowfall because of early spring and intermittent warm conditions. So this year and last year weren't that good, but the 2 years before that were really good. So that would be 2021 and 2022 were apparently really good years, where like all these hills surrounding here were pretty much blanketed in snow. The Snowy Mountains region, so far out of all the places I've been in Australia, I think it might just be my favorite region. I mean, I've only just gotten here, it's my first impressions, but I think this might become my favorite region because I don't know, it's like one part of it is yes, because I love winter, I love cold weather, I love snow, but I don't know, there's just something about the atmosphere, the ambience that I really liked. But again, there's so many other areas of the country I haven't explored, which I'm yet to, so I always will have an open mind. And again, I'm not going to complain, I'm still immensely grateful for where I actually do live. We're pretty much halfway through the road trip in terms of travel at this point. I'm not going to go any further, pretty much right on the border to Victoria, but that is going to have to wait for another trip, another time in the future. Victoria, that's a whole other adventure waiting to happen. We've pretty much covered a very large portion of New South Wales, and New South Wales is now pretty much the state that I've traveled most extensively. Even up in Queensland, my home state, I haven't actually traveled it all that extensively compared to New South Wales now after this trip. So there'll be plenty more trips to take, plenty more places to see. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Apart from that, there is hot showers here, so I am 100% going to make use of that right now. Then we'll make ourselves some dinner here. I'm not sure quite what I'll have, but I bought a few supplies and stuff, so I might go through that later today. And I will say this snow gear did a very good job. I'm very impressed. I mean, especially these snow pants, $8 second hand. You Canadians might recognize this. And yeah, even this jacket again held up well, $30. The jacket and the boots, I got them both from Aldi. These boots were $60, and yeah, they did get a little bit soaked in the end. But I think one thing I do need to change is the socks that I'm wearing, and of course with me running around like that in the snow with no snowshoes and just going deep in the snow, of course it was bound to happen. But still, my feet were actually warm and dry for quite a while, so these shoes took a pretty good beating today. I'm very happy with them. And yeah, there's all my wet socks and stuff. Apart from that, subscribe if you haven't already, give the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.